Can you tell the story of when you were tortured nearly to death in a Mexican prison?
I sure can, and I'm smiling, but it was nothing to smile about, I can tell you. I was in a pool, and a gentleman came over and shook hands with me and put handcuffs on me. And I thought, what in the world? That was at one of the nice hotels. And they put me in a jail cell, and I sat there, and all the drunks and the thieves and stuff kept coming in, and they had a bucket, and it overrun. And I said, man, like 18 people in a room, about 12 foot square. Oh, it was hot, and I thought, somebody's got to come get me. This ain't real. I hadn't done anything. It's like, there was a pilot coming to see me up in Hermosillo, and he stopped, and he made a mistake and went to the international runway instead of where he was supposed to go. Mm-hmm. And he had my phony name in his pocket, so they got me. So they said I was a drug smuggler. So after about 3 days, they put me back into the back, and it was a torture place. And they put me in a little cell. I guess it wasn't 6 feet. It must have been about 5 feet square and about 12 feet high. And it was June, the end of June, and it was hot. I mean hot. And they left me in there for, I guess, a few days. You didn't know. So every once in a while, they'd come drag me out. And first off, they put my head underwater. And it had seltzer in it or some kind. And I took one whiff of that, and 3 or 4 of them couldn't hold me down. So then I learned it just before you have to breathe, tear loose like that, and they'll let you up. And that was the first treatment. And then they started beating me. And they beat me with blackjack and rubber hose until I was black and blue and yellow from the bottom of my feet to my head.
What did they want from you?
They wanted me to sign a confession that I was a drug smuggler. And they put the papers under your nose. This is all over if you'll sign. Well, I knew if you signed, you got 6 years. I wasn't going to sign. I wasn't going to sign. So
but they didn't want you to snitch on anybody. They just wanted to say.
They just wanted me to sign that paper.
And you still didn't.
I ain't about to.
Yeah.
A beating ain't that bad. So, so anyhow, let's get them into the good part. So then they come and they take me out, and I'm buck naked, and they bend me over, and they have things to pull you, like change, click, 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 click. And they bent me over, and they put butter on my bum, and they commenced to put hot chili pepper up there. And that stuff was bad. I mean, it was red hot. Mm-hmm. And that was awful.
And still.
That's just awful.
Yeah, but still you didn't.
I didn't think about it. I ain't going to tell you. I guess if I'd have known he was going to kill me, I wouldn't have done it. But I wasn't about. You get hurt bad enough, you'll pass out. So I didn't pass out, so I was all right. So then the last thing they did was they brought a dead man in there, and he was frozen, and he was wrapped in newspaper, little strips about a ½ inch wide, just like a mummy, and he was frozen. And they hung him on the wall with a meat hook. And
God.
You next, son of a bitch, you next.
Yeah.
And so he's sitting there like this, and as he starts to thaw out, which is pretty quick, it looks like he's crying, and it looks like he's peeing, and the papers start unraveling on him, and the formaldehyde puddles on the floor.
Yeah.
Whew, what a smell, that rotten insides and the formaldehyde. And there was a little space, it wasn't even a ½ inch high, under the door. And I lay on that filthy floor with my cheek and put my lips right up under that door and was sucking that fresh air. And I went to sleep after some time. And I know where Walt Disney gets his ideas. I saw pink pigs with wings on them, all kinds of stuff flying around. So when I woke up, I didn't know which was real and which was the nightmare. It took me a minute to figure out where I was and what was going on.
How did you stay mentally strong through that time? Like what?
I don't know that I did. I was, I was mentally strong, so I was, just like I am now.
Stubborn. I mean, you could be that man. They could have killed you.
Yes, they could have.
So what gave you hope? Did you have hope?
Yeah.
Or you're just a stubborn son of a bitch?
I think some of both of it. And I think they aren't going to keep you here forever.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get out into the prison or they're going to let you go or something. But if you sign that paper, you ain't going nowhere. And I want to go home.